Everybody, long time no see. Using the new phone just to record a really short video. Well, not really short, but kind of medium video. The world is kind of shitty lately, so I've decided to, in lieu of that, offer up some distractions in the form of what I call therapy gaming. A lot of people with chronic pain, they spend their lives paralyzed for hours at a time trying to breathe through the pain, especially those of us who aren't on narcotics. And as such, they usually a lot of them need something in their face, in their hands to distract them. A lot of people like to use their phone. I know I am one of them. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to make a series of 3 different videos. The first one is the one that I'm going to be discussing today, which is games for a specific gaming system. The second video will be games for the phone, and the third video will be computer games or console games that can be used for therapy, and so on and so on. So we're going to start first with Nintendo. Okay, so I make it no secret that I'm a huge fan of pocket gaming. I have ever since its advent, and I've had every single pocket system that Nintendo has made, except for the really special edition ones, because it's kind of repetitive. But anyway, but I do admit to having both a 3DS and a 2DS. Why? Because well, the 3DS first came out first, and we purchased it together, my partner and I, so that we could have a 3DS. But as time progressed, he wanted the extra large, so he gave the other one to me, which was wonderful. I loved it. But 3D, and this is probably common for other people who have chronic illness as well. 3D hurts my eyesight, and I know that for people with migraines, video gaming, especially in 3D, can trigger it. So first things first, I'm not going to go into 3D games. I'm just going to keep it to 3DS games, yes, but I have a recommendation for everybody. If you know that you are sensitive, you have migraines, you have head pain, you have eyesight related pain, do not play games in 3D. So the games I'm suggesting, please turn off the 3D, because otherwise you're just going to hurt yourself, and that's the last thing I want. So there are actually categories, to believe it or not. I've been thinking about this stuff for a long time, and I've been meaning to make this video for about a year now. And that's why it has to be divided into 3 parts, because there's just too much to go on. So one of the first games that I want to bring up, the first type of game, is Sit-And-Out-Whileaway. These are games that you can just sit down or lie down, which is usually the preferred method if you're very ill, and just have the game system right in front of you, and you just play it for hours and hours and hours and hours. It's a game that keeps you distracted, keeps you going, and doesn't have a lull, and they're continuous. So I'm going to name just a couple off the top of my head. First things first, Harvest Moon. Harvest Moon is one of those games that you can play for hours and hours and hours without stop. It is probably one of the most gentlest games on this list, because there is no intense action, there's no stress. It is probably one of the most relaxing yet most interesting games that you can find on this console, because even though the plots are similar, there's technically 4 different plots, because there's 2 different towns and 2 different protagonists, and so there's 4 different paths that you can choose. So if you find that you're bored or you've done as much as you want in one file, to start another one in a different file. And the most important thing about this game is that the time, it's not real time, so you can go a week in an hour. So things that you don't have to wait too long for things to go through, and you see your rewards much faster. So this is definitely one of the ultimate while away games for if you're incredibly sick, because there's just so much to do in it. You can purchase animals, you can save up your money, I know Harvest Moon has a bad rap for being boring and dull, but sometimes boring and dull is what you need to recover. And I personally don't find these games boring and dull, especially this one. I find this one incredibly fun, interactive, and a blast. And that's why it's one of the first ones that I'm going to recommend. The second one, it's actually a bit of a niche. You'll see it on the thing. It's kind of silly, but the title's covered up. Hold on, because I bought it at a game and they only had one copy because they're stupid. It's definitely a niche game, so I'm just going to show it to you. It's called Chronicles, Samurai Warriors. So this game is one of the ones that I was discussing where there's a lot of action. You need to be alert, and you need to have your eyes focused on every single thing that's going on in the game. You can't let up for 1 second unless you press pause. So it's one of those games that falls in the middle. It's definitely a time consumer. There are a lot of missions in this game. You have 2 different pathways. You have myriad ways to do things. You can play you can play the campaigns over and over and over again to beat your own skill, and you can be male or female, which I've done both, and I love them both. And some things are a little bit different for each playthrough, so I do recommend playing it through both sexes at least once. That's what I recommend for every game, though, because there's always a different experience. But this is one of the games that falls into high action. There's a lot of action in this. You have to be incredibly focused. So in that instance, if you have an illness that affects your body, you may want to reconsider playing this one during a flare-up. It's great. It's a great time eater, but if you get frustrated, your body will tense up and respond to that. And there can be a lot of frustration in this game, even though it is a fantastic game. And actually, the producers of this game got together with the people who make Legend of Zelda, and they collaborated and made a game like Legend of Zelda, but in this kind of format. And I say that's wonderful. This format is incredibly rare to find. That's why this game was like so hard to find. It was a chance stumble. I'm glad I got it. But there can be bad things for it, and that's one of them. That you just might be a little tense, so try not to either get into it too much or just try to play it on maybe a quieter pain day. But it's definitely a good game for a distraction. Now, another one that's incredibly important, it's kind of similar to Harvest Moon. Animal Crossing New Leaf. Yay! You knew I was going to mention this. Well, you should have. If you didn't, well, come on. But this one works in real time. But from day one, once you start, you are the mayor. You are the guy and gal in charge. You dictate everything. You have a lot of stuff to do. You have a lot of things to do daily, especially when you're starting out. You need a lot of money. So there's always fruits, and you can go to the island. You can unlock new things. It's an incredible thing to do every single day. And why I say every single day, because like I said, it works in real time. There's always something new every day, but I can understand you not wanting to play for hours. This will probably take up maybe an hour or 2 of your time each day. However, it's a very gentle time of like hour of a day. So that's another one I would recommend, for daily regime. Another one, I've actually discussed this game previous, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about it. I will link to the other video on this game for you, but yes, this one is definitely up there. And if you have never heard of it, I'm sad, and you must go play it because this game is amazing. And related to that game is this one, Super Smash Brothers for 3DS. It just came out. So maybe wait for a price drop if you're a little bit stuck on cash. You could probably get it used for a decent price. Or maybe wait for digital download, see if they can offer you a sale. It does take up a lot of space though, so I don't recommend digital download for this one. However, this is like Samurai Chronicles, this one is high action. So you have to either have a moderate pain day or not have pain focused on your body. I have pain focused on my body, so if I get stressed, my gut tenses up, and that's my danger zone. So I can only play this for so long, and because it can be a rage game, but it's so much fun. There's so many things you can unlock. They have missions and campaigns, and they keep you busy. And it even has the time set up on the bottom screen so you don't lose track of time, which is excellent. I highly endorse this for future games. And finally, where is it? I'm missing a game that I don't seem to have with me. So I will just show you the cartridge. This is Nintendogs for 3DS. Now, I don't know about you, but I sure get lonely when I have a flare-up and I'm alone. So I usually need companionship, and luckily I'm lucky enough to have a dog in order to have that companionship. But when I'm not with her, I need that, and I need something to care for and to love. And I find that Nintendogs is fantastic for that kind of thing. If you're a person that loves dogs and cats, you don't have to have a dog. You can get a cat. You can fill your house with cats. There's a you can do stuff daily, hourly. There's no limits on walks in this one. There's lots of things that get unlocked the more you play. There's a street pass info, like the puppies, they learn tricks and they interact with each other. It's fantastic. It's definitely like Tamagotchi, but puppies and cats, and I love it. It's actually one of the first games I played for the double screen system. It literally is the first game I ever played, and I wouldn't be without it anywhere I go. I just wouldn't. Anyway, I'm coming up to 10 minutes, so I gotta cut this one short. So this one is actually just gonna be 3DS games. Next one I'm gonna do is 2DS, like regular DS games, and I'm also going to tie in phone games with that one as well. And then the third one, again, will be computer console games. So I'll see you in the next installment. Thanks for watching. And if you have any questions or anything that you could suggest that I can use in a following video, let me know, and I will be sure to mention it. And I will see you later. You guys like this phone? I like it. I started wearing this when Bill Nye said that the one thing you can need to refute creationism is trees. This had a whole new meaning. Trees, the single power against creationalism. I better stop now.